Her actions, he said, overwhelmed Conrad's will to live at that critical moment. On June 16th, 2017, the judge delivered his verdict. He found Michelle Carter guilty of involuntary manslaughter, but his reasoning was very specific. He didn't convict her for all the text or for just generally encouraging suicide. He pinpointed the exact moment her actions became a crime. The judge said it wasn't her command to get back in the truck that was the wanton and reckless conduct that led to Conrad's death. He explained that by ordering him back into what she knew was a toxic environment and then doing nothing to help him, like calling 911 or his family, she became responsible. Her actions, he said, overwhelmed Conrad's will to live at that critical moment. On August 3rd, 2017, Carter was sentenced to 2.5 years with 15 months to be served in prison, followed by 5 years of probation. Her lawyers immediately appealed, so she was allowed to stay free while the case made its way through the courts. In February 2019, the highest court in Massachusetts upheld her conviction, rejecting her free speech arguments. Her lawyers then took the case all the way to the U.S. Supreme Court, but in January of 2020, the court declined to hear it. And that was the end of the line. Michelle Carter began her prison sentence on February the 11th, 2019, and she was released early for good behavior, January 23rd, 2020, after serving about 11 months. The conviction of Michelle Carter really divided people and left behind a complicated legacy. It sparked huge debates about cyberbullying, mental health, and how the law should handle crimes in the digital world. Since her release from prison and the end of her probation in August 2022, Michelle Carter has stayed completely out of the public eye. For the Roy family, the end of the legal battle brought some closure, but not an end to their pain. They focused on honoring Conrad's memory and advocating for mental health awareness. At its core, this case is a story of profound human loss. A young man who lost his life, a young woman whose actions will forever define her by his death. The story of Michelle Carter and Conrad Roy is a tragedy with no winners. It's a dark, cautionary tale of our time where relationships can be lived through screens and the weight of our words can travel miles in an instant. A Massachusetts court drew a line in the sand saying that, yes, words can be a weapon when they're used to coerce a vulnerable person into a fatal act.